If Trump doesn't win this election, it's the last election we're going to have.
Elon Musk just said something shocking regarding the upcoming election about Donald Trump in a recent interview with Tucker Carlson. Listen to this. These are the things that are being hidden, but we know that sin always gets found out. The lies that are being revealed, I want you to know to be ready. This is going to go viral, and you can expect to have a few jaw-drop faces when you hear these lies being uncovered. And so let's get straight into this.
And he is a truly incredible guy. And I don't say that often. He's a great gentleman. He's done such an unbelievable job for North Carolina, for Georgia, for Alabama,
really
for Florida, for Tennessee. His name is Elon Musk. He saved free speech. He created so many different great things. Where is he? Come on up here, Elon. He created the first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space.
These are incredible accomplishments. Look at him jumping up and down.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
You can see that there is a friendship between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And what they said is absolutely wild. And I want you to watch this right now. Then I'm going to go show you some even more crazy things. Listen to this.
If Trump doesn't win this election, it's the last election we're going to have. The Democrats, the Dem machine, has been importing so many people, bringing in so many illegals, flying in with this like CBP border app thing nobody even knew about, like secret program. That's illegal, basically. It's illegal, but there's no action by DOJ to actually to stop it from happening. They're transporting large numbers of illegals to swing states. If you look at the numbers, these are the numbers from the government website. There are triple-digit increases in illegals to all the swing states, and in some cases it's like 700% over the last 3 years. Now these swing state margins are, sometimes 10, 20,000 votes. So what happens if you put hundreds of thousands of people into each swing state? And when they do so, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. So my prediction is, if there's another 4 years of a Dem administration, they will legalize so many illegals that are there that the next election there won't be any swing states.
Look at Tucker Carlson's face again. Legalize so many illegals that there will be the next election, there won't be any swing states. Look at his face. This is what we have on earth, that people don't even realize what he's saying and how this is happening. And the fact of the matter is, this has been going on for decades and decades. And I think that it's just starting to recognize, and you're starting to see the truth, and you're really starting to make sense of this. But I'm not making up facts. Look at what Elon Musk did in 2016 and then 2020. He voted for Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. Now, the crazy thing for me is how over just 4 years, even less than that, how a person who was so staunchly for one party could then turn and focus on somewhere else. It wasn't even that long ago. So what you're starting to see is people like Elon Musk and yourself, that there's hundreds of thousands, even other millions and millions of Americans have woken up to the truth and sees past the lies and starting to understand what's happening behind closed doors, because God reveals all these things. And the reason I'm making this video is because Elon Musk said something every American person needs to hear. And bringing it to the people, to the swing votes, to the states, here is the proof. Look at what we see. It's shocking when you start to understand it. So look, what we have here are the swing states. And what you can see here very clearly is we've got swing states in Arizona, Nevada, we've got Wisconsin, we've got Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. And when you start to understand where all of these people are starting to migrate towards, you start to understand, oh wow, if you start to push just a couple groups of people groups, not even that much, what you're starting to see is that these swing states in the last election didn't take much to win. We're talking less than 10,000 votes for some of them. And if you start moving people in droves by buses over the course of year over year, what you're going to end up doing is once you legalize them, guess what happens? You may now flip Pennsylvania and be able to now win the election, because that's all it takes. You don't actually have to do too many. All you have to do is just push a couple towards these areas and off you go. And next thing you know, the election has completely turned. So what Elon Musk is exposing is the volume of immigrants that are coming into the country illegally across the border. And it's shocking when you go ahead and do a Google search. Let me go ahead and show you what's there. And then that way you can see the scale in which it's happened. Let's go ahead and look over here. So what you see here is it says in 2023, the U.S. Border Patrol recorded over 2 million illegal border crossings, which is a slight decrease from the previous year. However, the number of encounters have been increasing in recent years. And you know that because that's the time that you know that Biden's been in presidency. So when you start to see this, you see that the numbers are astonishing, because you see just in December of last year, there's 370,000 border crossings. Now, you have to understand is these swing states, the difference between them voting Democrat and them voting Republican, we're talking about 10, 20, 30,000, possibly even 50, even 100,000. But in just 1 month, they're moving enough people over that allow them to swing that entire state. And that's just 1 month across almost 4 years. So think about the volume of people that they're pushing, that they're trying to do. This is what Elon Musk is exposing. He's showing that all they have to do is legalize them and allow them to be able to vote. And next thing you know, these swing states are no longer swing states. They turn blue, they stay blue forever. They're not even purple anymore. And you can, guess what? You can then do this to the red states that are potentially a little bit closer, and then turn them purple and then turn them blue. And you see this. This is an unbelievable truth that he is showing us that has been going on for years after years after years. So here's a chart from usafacts.org that talks about the border incursions that occurred from 2020 to 2023. So what we have here is a chart that talks about the data for people. So let me talk about how it's set up and what it means. So you have a stack bar chart, and if you're not familiar with the way the data works, is you're going to have 3 colors: apprehensions, inadmissibles, and expulsions. And Title 42 is involved for a couple years here, and then it expires. So what you're going to see here is the bottom number in basically purple or hot pink is people that were caught crossing the border, those that were then ultimately considered inadmissible, and then expulsions. And what you'll see here is that we don't have any expulsion data from April of 2023 because it ends. And so what you'll notice here is, as you can see where my cursor is this is when Trump left office and Biden took over. And you'll notice is pretty much in the first year of Biden's term, you didn't have a lot of people crossing the border, and you did have a lot of people getting, sent back out. But what you'll notice is that second year of Biden's term, it starts to go up and go up dramatically. Like, this is a dramatic increase where you're starting to see data for people almost getting to about 100,000 per month, which is just an astonishing number. I mean, it's 1 million people in about a year that's crossing the border. And you'll start to see is that the expulsions, similarly are matched. So they're catching them and getting rid of them and putting them back into wherever they came from, whether that was from Mexico or elsewhere. But then when Title 42 ends, all those expulsions come to a halt, and then you'll notice the data skyrockets even further. Now we're almost at 200,000 people per day. And this is a dramatic number of people, because now what you think about, this is like a medium-sized city of people coming in on a monthly basis into the United States. That's a huge turn for those that they're going to be voting for. So now I want to go back and show you the map of the United States and the swing states that we have here and the scale that we're talking about. Because in some level of these states, what you don't realize is, it's not very obvious, is that hundreds of thousands of people will literally swing the difference in population, because a lot of the states that are on here don't have high populations. We obviously know Texas and California are the 2 biggest states by population. It's not likely that you're going to swing either of those states in either direction because of the influx of people. But when you start to look at New Mexico, and you're dealing with Nevada and possibly even Arizona and Colorado. Colorado's got Denver and some other cities up there. You can really start to impact things in a big way. And then you can go over here and you look at Iowa. That's not a big state. It doesn't have a lot of population. Even North Carolina and Virginia can be negatively affected. And obviously, if you get people up all the way up into the Northeast, you can affect that too. So the reason why this is so impactful is now you're literally changing the landscape of the election overnight. Literally within the last couple years, we're seeing a huge change. So now I want you to re-listen to the video that Elon Musk talked about and listen into what he says, because now you're armed with the information that he's talking about, so he confirms the data that I just showed you.
if Trump doesn't win this election, it's the last election we're going to have. The Democrats, the Dem machine, has been importing so many people, bringing in so many illegals, flying in with this like CBP border app thing nobody even knew about, like secret program. That's illegal, basically. It's illegal, but there's no action by DOJ to actually to stop it from happening. They're transporting large numbers of illegals to swing states. If you look at the numbers, these are the numbers from the government website. There are triple-digit increases in illegals to all the swing states, and in some cases, it's like 700% over the last 3 years. Now, these swing state margins are, sometimes 10, 20,000 votes. So what happens if you put hundreds of thousands of people into each swing state? And when they do so, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. So my prediction is, if there's another 4 years of a Dem administration, they will legalize so many illegals that are there that the next election there won't be any swing states.
So now you can understand. In the reality I mentioned before, this has been going on for decades. This is something that's been happening for a really long time and has been thoroughly planned out, plotted, and continues to happen throughout the time, because this is one of the key strategies that you can try to win elections through by just bringing in additional voters and making them citizens. So now that you're armed with this information, as a United States citizen or even as a Christian, what can you do? I want to implore you to understand that God is sovereign, but I can show you time and time again that those people who interceded for cities, nations, and even people, you will see that God moved in a different direction. You saw this happen when Abraham was praying over Sodom and Gomorrah, because God said if there were even 10 righteous people in those cities, he would have averted the disaster was there. You saw Moses imploring over the Israelites over and over again throughout the wilderness before God eventually cast them out. You see this over again. You see this Jesus praying for his current disciples, even talking to Peter before he denied him 3 times. But yet that was a proof that shows that God was constantly knowing and interceding for you, but he empowers us as Christians, even if you aren't a United States citizen, to come and pray for the nation, because when you understand the truth, you get set free. That's how it works. And God will allow you to have a voice in this moment and in this opportunity to move things forward. It's so powerful. You can't forget who is the one who established all these things, who created the governments, who created our existence and everything that's about it. God is so powerful that he can move and allow this country to be healed, and healed rapidly. That's the essence of who he is. And that's the power that we have through prayer. That's the power we have through intercession. That's how he has delegated that to us. So in these moments, when you understand the truth and understand the capabilities of what God can do, I implore you as a Christian to come together and move forward. Now, I know there's going to be some people that talk about, well, that in the United States, that you don't have, religion mixing with the state. You have this principle called that everything is functionally separate. You keep them independent. But what I want to talk about is that's not in the Constitution. That precedent came out of what Thomas and Jefferson talked about, because he did not want the state to impress its will and basically subjugate religion. So you get this term, separation of church and state, but it is not actually a law. What it is, it's a precedent that the Supreme Court has carried. And if you don't believe me, look it up, because you're not going to find anything on it. So it's basically this made up theory that people base all these laws on. And the reality is the Bible makes it very clear that religion and government are one. And that's how it is. They're inseparable, because God is a part of all of it. You didn't see King David going about his works as the king of Israel separate from the religion that he served. He talked about God. He worshiped God. He even worshiped God with such indignity that his one wife, Michal, called him out on it. And yet he then turned and said that I was the anointed one, and therefore I'm going to be even more undignified. So religion is a part of society. It's a part of our government. You can't separate it. Anyone that talks about separation of church and state and wants that to apply are really following a narrative that supports the world, that supports the kingdom of darkness, and that's who wants it, because they want to retain their control. So my suggestion to you is to take this data, do some research, share it with your family and friends, and just pray and ask God, what can you intercede? What can you do? How can you reach out to others and share this information? Be factual. This isn't emotional. This isn't about politics. It's about understanding the truth and understanding your position in the kingdom so that you can help get people free, understand the truth, and continue serving God the way that you always need to, which is on your knees and through your actions and through your heart. So I hope if you like this video that you come together and partner with this ministry. We have an amazing vision here at John Humanic Ministries, and I just want to implore you to come together and partner with us. You can do so on our website where I have all the information set up. You can go to humanic.com/partner. There you can set up a single donation or you can become a monthly partner. There's different tiers with different information and things that you get. And I just highly recommend it because when you tie your finances to a ministry that's on fire for God, you get the benefit and the anointing flows to you. And it is just a tremendous, tremendous advantage for you and for the kingdom of God. God bless.